We're just two guys with one mission, and we've chosen to accept it for some reason. It's time to tell them what we mean, what we say.
Good evening.
Hello. We just watched the 1981 film Dead and Buried.
Yes, which was essentially a very, very long Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Hot Fuzz,
Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, it had a big, like, EC Comics vibe.
Yeah.
But it was also kind of muted and weirdly 70s, I guess.
A little bit. I mean, it looks terrible.
Yeah, it's shot in this kind of...
TV style. It looked like a TV show. Like the sets are all small, the acting's very TV style.
But the acting was pretty strong. Like, I think the cast was good and it was...
Yeah, it was okay. It's got the granddad from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
It's sweet. I was happy to find that out.
So, the film opens on a picturesque New England beach.
Yep.
And a guy is just taking photographs of the landscape until he encounters a young lady. And the young lady is...
coquettish.
And tries to seduce him. But then...
Or so you think.
A bunch of people attack him and set him on fire.
Yeah, from out of nowhere.
From out of nowhere, they set him on fire. Then, the next day, the cop finds him, a burnt figure inside an upturned car.
Yeah, camper van.
It's a camper van, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we start getting introduced to...
No,
What?
First jump scare, which is, well, how long's he been dead? You're the coroner, you tell me. At which point the corpse goes...
Yeah, so he's not quite dead. He's been burnt. He's burnt alive, but he's not quite dead.
Yes.
Then we kind of start getting introduced to the cast of characters of the local townspeople, one of which is Robert Englund. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of very much a small town... I'd like to say, like... Culty, Lovecraftian, Shadow over Innsmouth kind of... Everyone's got their secrets and nobody... But everyone knows each other and...
Again, like the NWA in Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the main cop has been away to cop school.
Yeah, criminology,
and he's come back to protect his
Was he
town.
training to be Batman? Yeah, so he's been away for a while, and now he's back to help his small-town childhood chums.
Now, the problem is that I kind of feel like I'm torn, because I kind of want to describe what happens in the movie, but at the same time, I'm not sure I want to ruin it, because...
I never had a clue what was going on until it happened.
Yeah,
which was quite cool.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a slasher movie. Yeah. And then it twists into something really else.
Not, yeah.
And then it twists into something else.
Yeah.
And you start having little bits of red herrings and a little bit of like, okay, who's really doing this? Who's really doing it? And then it wasn't who I thought it was.
Yeah, I was thrown by that as well. Yes. That is a problem with this one because it's not the standard kind of stuff that we've watched so far.
Whereas it's just a bunch of gory stuff that happens.
Scene to scene to scene. Or even explain the story, because for the most part the story doesn't matter too much to the films that we watch, because a lot of them are like your standard slashers or stuff like that. Whereas this, it is very much based on, if you haven't seen it before, you would definitely not want it explained to you.
Yes.
There would be actual spoilers if we explain what happens.
But
at the same
it's
time,
also not very good.
No.
I feel like if it was an hour-long episode of something, it would be great.
Yeah.
But for an hour and a half...
Like I say, it's a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pushing it, though... I don't know. I'm starting to lean towards not spoiling it.
Okay. I mean, it's not badly paced. I probably would recommend that people watch it, because it is interesting.
I think if you wanted to, like, one of those muted winter evening by the fire with some friends...
Spooky film to watch.
But I don't know. I think, like...
Because it's kind of a whodunit as well.
But I also think you kind of need to be our age.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that a young person...
Somebody in their 20s is going to watch this and just go boring bollocks. rubbish.
Well, that's not. I don't think we can pass judgment about that. But I think.
Okay.
I want. It's not so much that. It's because I think young people can enjoy slower paced films.
Yeah.
But I think you need to have seen a lot of different movies in order to be able to enjoy, in order to be able to fully appreciate the nuances of what's going on.
But then we also can't say too much about that either. So
but I say if you've seen
this, this, and this, then that may give some stuff away also.
Yeah. No. I mean in the sense of like, have you seen the old Twilight Zones?
Right, yeah.
Have you seen Tales from the Crypt?
Yeah.
Do you know what EC Comics are? Have you seen Creepshow?
True. I mean, the way to get around this is to say spoilers and then say 3, 2, 1. Don't listen past this point if you might be going to watch this film.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah?
I'll put a time code up.
Yeah, do it that way then.
Okay, so...
That's what everybody else on the internet does.
So what do they do on the internet?
That's what they do on
I'm confused about the internet.
So if we say it is worth watching if you're into creepy, spooky shit.
If you're into like
Creepy,
pretty solid...
spooky old movies... It's a great premise. It's maybe not executed brilliantly.
Yes. I think it's one of those movies that I feel like if they where they're always remaking stuff that's already good.
Absolutely.
If they were going to remake...
They could remake this really fucking well.
Then I think it would be... anyway, Hollywood, if you're listening...
Yeah.
Which we know you aren't.
Especially given the title of this podcast.
Okay, so we're going to go do spoilers. I'm going to put a time code on the screen now. If you don't want to have the spoilers and you just want to find out what the scores are, if you're keeping score, then this is the time. Okay, 3, 2, 1, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Okay, so...
I can't believe he did it. Right, so it
turns out the whole town has been sort of created...
reanimated corpses.
Yeah, from the local mortician who's basically who got fired from Providence City Medical thing for interfering with not interfering, but like unauthorized use of corpses.
Yes.
Now he's developed a way to embalm a human corpse, bring them back to life.
Although the bit you missed was it's not just embalming with the girl who had her head staved in with a rock. He went all the way down to the skull and rebuilt everything. Yeah. Like piece by piece, like muscle tissue and everything like that. Yeah, like he's like from the skull back upwards.
He's really He's like really into the artistry of making corpses look like they are alive, and then he also has some sort of black magic,
some sort of magic witchcraft,
voodooism that he
imbibes them with.
That he like casts over them. Yeah, so they remember some of their previous life, but then they're also given a new role within the community.
I don't think they're aware that they're dead.
It seemed like everyone was aware that they were dead, except
the original...
Except the cop's wife.
Cop's wife, who's his original one.
Yes.
Yes, he doesn't seem to have blessed her with that. And he seems to have kind of wiped her memories and just given her the memories of being with the cop.
No. She's wiped her memory and then given her like a new life, because he said that he found her just floating in the river.
Oh, yes.
And he basically rebuilt her, and but he tried to make her really good so that she could like live her life as a lover and a companion. And you see, the movie kind of sets up, it throws in all these like little red herrings that you think that the wife is like some sort of...
I was convinced it was the wife that was doing it. Yeah. She's teaching her school children about witchcraft. Yeah. She has some sort of sacrificial dagger.
And you think that she's basically... It's going to turn out that she's really controlling everyone, but then it doesn't. No. It's more about something... It's like...
He's creating this perfect town for himself, and because he can...
And that's...
Because it's to his skills, and he feels great about the fact that he can create all of this kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's the basic premise of the movie, and I thought that central idea was pretty good.
Yeah, great.
And I liked that it kind of twisted around. I also liked that it was really violent.
Very. Oh, God, that fucking needle. If we're into spoilers anyway.
Yeah, we're into spoilers anyway.
There's a 6-inch, at least, needle where you think the guy who got burnt on the beach in the start, he's still alive and bandaged like and the girl who was posing for his photos on the beach, turns out she's a nurse, So she comes in, and you think she's going to give him some sort of lethal injection type dealy. She pulls out this honking great needle on the end of a syringe, and just as you think she's about to put poison in him or something, she stabs it straight in his eye. Jesus Christ, is the most fucking disturbing thing I've seen for so long. Two of my least favourite things in needles and eye violence, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, fucking legends, he's not coming.
Yeah, it was pretty
fucking brutal.
It was pretty rough. There was a Stan Winston, rest in peace. Did a lot of the effects on the movie, and
most of them are really good.
There was only one that I'd say.
The acid in the face.
Yeah, the acid in the face.
That looked like putting acid into Crash Test Dummy.
Yeah,
which was a bit shit. Maybe they just ran out of budget.
Maybe it's very difficult to do that one.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe because I think like
you look at
face molds are like really.
Yeah, look at someone like The Beyond where they did the acid to the face. That was amazing.
Yeah, but the person wasn't still alive. That was. I think that's what made it look, is that they were kind of like puppeteering the mouth still. Yeah. And it was kind of looking.
But they did one shot just before they actually put any acid in that actually kind of set it up as looking really shit. If they'd have done that the other way around and had the real person just as the tubes were going up and then cut it,
it was kind of so weird.
It would have been a better way of doing it.
It was some weird choices, but making movies is hard.
On like all the hands and the face and the arms and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the people
starting to decompose.
Yeah,
looked fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it looked really great, and the burnt corpse screaming looked
that was fucking
really
amazing. Great. Yeah. And there is a general air of fucking creepiness about it.
Yeah. There's a kind of weird creepiness and melancholy, and it's really...
There's an intentional fog everywhere, which kind of lends itself to the kind of just spookiness of the whole thing. Some of it's film stock, some of it was like actual just fog and creepy vibes. I mean, it's
like when they
remake this and make it fucking good, somebody.
Because it's basically there. It's almost there.
It's almost there. Bigger budget, I think, even at the time, they could have absolutely fucking nailed it. But some of it just looks like, some of the sets and stuff just look so pokey and hokey and just kind of, we've got this little cupboard, let's make this into something. It's just, I think that's what undersells it. And a couple of the acting performances are a bit gash. But
which were the acting performances that you didn't like?
Some of it's just a bit wooden, a bit creaky. Like the bald doctor, I think, was a bit shit. The ginger assistant just seemed to be like some teen who was just kind of...
Yeah, he seemed fine. He played his parts fine.
But, I mean, the main cop's okay, but TV acting.
Yeah, he's definitely a bit hammy.
That's not movie star acting, that's TV acting. Grandpa Bucket was really great.
Yeah.
He was awesome. The wife was really good, I thought.
Yeah, the wife was really good, especially when she started realising that she was dead. She started having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, that was kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's strange, though, because we're talking about all these great bits in it.
Yeah.
But I'm still on the side of, like, there's just something about it that just didn't gel together.
Absolutely.
And it's a real shame. Fun fact, Dan O'Bannon, the writer of Dark Star and the original concept for Alien.
And Rochester.
Rochester produced it, but he didn't write it.
Didn't write this, no.
No, but Dan O'Bannon is credited as a writer, but it turns out, because I read this on Wikipedia, and I sort of knew this before, is that basically Dan O'Bannon's friend put his name on the script so he could sell it, and then Dan O'Bannon contributed some ideas, none of which were in the film. And by the time Dan O'Bannon realised this, the film was already out and couldn't have his name taken off.
Amazing.
So rest in peace, Dan O'Bannon, you lunatic. I heard he was really into porno and guns.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, it comes across in the weird in the Alien documentaries.
Yeah.
So, end of spoilers.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Do the scoring?
Yeah, let's score it.
Alrighty.
For story, what would you give it?
I'll go with the 3 because I like the story. It was good. Again, the premise of it was really, really good.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go I'm going to go for a 4, actually.
Okay.
And he only misses out the extra point because I felt it could have been more concise.
Okay. I mean, I like that it keeps you guessing.
Yeah,
A lot of the time.
but I like the story and the atmosphere. Like a general, I liked.
Yeah. And I did not see the antagonist coming.
No,
good.
Wouldn't have guessed it.
No.
What would you give it for gore?
Not enough of it, but what there was good. So again, middle of the road 3.
I'm also going to go for a 3 because I agree with you on this.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, and so for the overall creativity,
great. Because of...
It's just something I can't describe why it didn't land exactly. But
and also, it's so many elements from so many different things that, as far as I'm aware, precede it.
Well, Hot Fuzz does not precede it.
No, but again,
Body Snatchers.
Twilight Zone, Body Snatchers, things like that.
It's definitely got a big Body Snatchers vibe.
Yeah.
But I think, and it's kind of, I guess, Stephen King-y.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So
see, again, it would have made a great episode, like one shot of Creepshow, same as Twilight Zone, instead of
like a
dragging it out to an hour and a half.
With like a 40-minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, what did I say?
You didn't say anything.
3. Because it was creative, but at the same time, it was also a lot of things from a lot of different places. So, it wasn't any one of those things. But it took a lot of
for me, I
elements
think
from
I'm
those,
also going to go back for a 4 because I think everything definitely it had that kind of 70s Body Snatchers feeling to it. But I don't know. The fact that it didn't land, and the fact that I really reckoned like if they tightened up all the loose things, it would have been
just warmer and punchier.
Yeah. Dear Santa. For logical sense.
It doesn't, does it? Because for it to make logical sense, it has to take out certain elements.
What are the elements that it has to take out?
Witchy poo and voodooism and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Okay, so you're going for...
I'm going logical sense in the real world. And within the film, it makes complete sense. Within its own world, then I would say 4, because that leads to that, that leads to that, that leads to that, because of this.
Yes, but that's what I think. Isn't that what we base it on?
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
I'm not asking.
I'm giving 2 different options. Within the world of the film, I would give it a 4.
Within the world of the film, you give it a 4.
Yeah, in the real world, I would give it a fucking 0 because
you
fuck all that supernatural bullshit.
Okay.
So yeah, what about you? Yeah.
I'm gonna go lower.
Okay.
But for the following reasons, there is a scene where someone who is responsible goes to the police and then hands that person evidence for no reason. There was no reason why.
I think maybe because they think eventually they will come around. Because of that one twist that we actually didn't even mention within the spoiler section that we shouldn't mention now either.
But there's also another, is the guy who owned the hotel.
Yes. He's not in on it. Yeah, the whole town's not in on it.
But they also are.
Because I don't think Teletyper is either.
Yeah, but they're also...
Or else she'd be like, ooh...
But they also are. That was the thing that like, it loses points because I understand that they had to wrap things up. Yeah.
Is the hotel guy in on it?
You'd think.
Well, you would think the entire town is.
But he gives all the evidence to the cop about the photographer on the beach.
Yeah.
And then he says, oh, the photographer was with your wife, Mr. Copper, and then that plotline never comes back.
No, that's true. Yeah, right. Right, put me down. 3. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Or rather, just doesn't go anywhere.
But I would say that's the many things. Like, don't bring it up.
Either everybody's in on it, or
you can't have
the people who are in on it can't just be bystanders in the whole process.
Yeah, because they'd notice.
Spoilers for the whole thing.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, okay. No, I understand what you mean. And listening to this, if you watch the film, you will also understand what we mean.
Yes. It's really hard to not spoil something.
Yeah, it is.
I understand why...
That's now 4 years old.
I understand. Which no one's going to watch anyway.
Ever, yeah.
Alright, and finally the music.
There was music in this?
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Okay.
In general, I thought it was very nice underscore. I really like the theme. I know that I've known the theme before for years, and I enjoy it, especially the saxophone section.
I hate saxophones.
You didn't notice it, so.
Well, apart from that the credits, which sounded like some sort of Lethal Weapon outtake. Yeah, well, how do I score it, given that I don't remember it at all? 1, because I'm guessing there was some?
You know there was some, you just mentioned...
Well, the one at the end.
The theme.
Okay.
The main theme.
Okay, but I didn't notice it for the rest of the film.
Okay, so...
At no point...
You can score it a 0 if you like. If you genuinely didn't remember it.
Yeah, I genuinely don't remember.
Okay, well, I remembered it, and I would give it a 3.
Okay.
What are you giving it?
Well, I guess a 0, because I just don't remember it.
All right.
At no point did I think, oh, that's a nice bit of music, or, oh, that's a bad bit of music, or that's taking me at the moment, or that's really syncing up with what's going on. I genuinely just didn't really notice anything. other than your standard, spooky movies.
All right, it's a 28 out of 50. It's the same score
really?
as Contamination.
That's weird.
I would say it's about right.
Like
it's above average.
Yeah.
I guess would you recommend this movie, Steve?
Yeah, to the people that we said before, like if you like a kind of spooky, not quite Halloween, but a spooky dark evening, maybe with a couple of friends, because there are a couple of really good scares in it.
Yeah.
When he starts getting attacked on the beach, that's really good, and the thing that we're not mentioning was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I was that vocal when something happened in a movie. That was quite loud. Like, Jesus!
I think...
Like, absolutely, genuinely, fucking just shocked me.
I think if you're into spooky stories and you have a strong stomach, then you might get a kick out of Dead and Buried.
Yeah.
Okay, and on that note...
I'd agree with that.
Let's go...
This review is now... Dead and Buried.
Oh, God.